you tired of the toxicity without the system of a down? Well, let me tell you something. You should probably stay away from 3 main groups of gaming communities. What is up, my fellow Shadow Warriors? This is the Undead Ninja here. And you know what? I was playing some COD earlier. And yeah, boo-hoo. I wasn't playing Black Ops 7. I'm still stuck on Modern Warfare 3 because the newer ones suck even more than the rest. Okay, so it came to my mind and to a conclusion that these gaming communities are very, very toxic. But what makes them toxic? So I have gathered 3 main gaming communities that I would say are the most toxic, okay? So without further ado, let's talk about it. First one we should get out of the way is the biggest one of them all, even though this list is in no particular order, of course. Call of Duty, okay? And what I mean by this is, you ever want to let your inner racism out? Because that's what you get when you talk to most people playing this game. Crazy to think about the good old days when it comes to COD being MW2 original and thinking of how you and your friends would just yell on the mic, especially on the 360. I don't know, I didn't play on the PlayStation 3, but instantly it was this word, that word, words that shouldn't be said from a white folk, you know what I mean? And it became the national community, okay? The national anthem, you should say. It was no party rocking in the USA without being a little aggressive in Call of Duty. It's crazy to me that that mental note has still stuck around to this day. Either A, it is straight racism, or B, it is straight aggression and partial racism. Okay, it's like there's no in between. And then to top it off, the AI that would ban people from saying the craziest stuff would also be removed. Okay, because it only follows the newer CODs. The verbal language isn't the only thing that makes Call of Duty toxic, okay? It is literally the fan base. And what I mean by that is that all these people will come together to hate one Call of Duty, but yet buy it the next year. Alright? They're the same people who will just continuously buy it. They're like the same people who played Madden. Okay? You know who I'm talking about. Anyways, it's like that they're constantly battling mentally with their own game. The creators and the players. And even worse are the Call of Duty Warzone players who decide that that's all they're going to play and that's their only main attribute into buying the other games are for the weapons. Okay, so there's not really that much of a change between all the Call of Duties because of the yearly release. I'm still salty about the fact that I still haven't gotten Call of Duty Ghosts. Come on, where is it? You know, you can't leave me on a cliffhanger and blue ball me and act like it's all okay. And then now, on top of it, we're just replaying storylines that keep going that has no meaning anymore. Now to start thinking of it, I might be a toxic COD player. Prison break. Okay, so the second community that I want to talk about that's pretty toxic is the Halo community. Okay, on basis, it seems like this wouldn't be a toxic community because, you know, you got your storylines, you got this, but it's like there are 2 separate types of Halo players. You got your classic Halo players that will only worship everything before Bungie, or you got your newer players who will also either worship the newer games or all games. Alright, let's talk about the first group of Halo lovers, okay? And these particular lovers are the ones who only worship Bungie, okay? Anything that 343 has came out, they can never find anything good about it, alright? Like I said a few seconds ago, is that they will always hate the fact that Sprint is in their game. No reason why, it slows down the game mechanics. You know what? You are valid to have your opinion. However, next time I flip over my Warthog and I'm having to walk 20 miles that way and taking 20 minutes to get to my destination, we're going to have a problem. I'm not saying loving only Bungie games is bad. I mean, we all have our tastes. You know, video games are subjective to our own mind. However, don't get upset when everybody's moving to a whole new mindset, okay? Sprint wasn't in the originals because that's just how the limitations of the game were. And yeah, Bungie did for the longest time, up until Halo Reach, not add any sprinting. And then, to top it off, it's like they got upset that everything was feeling the same way. I know Bungie players, or Halo during the Bungie era, and their players, who would sit there and tell me that they hated the fact that it felt like COD, but before Halo 4 came out. I remember people dissing Halo Reach and going back to Halo 3 because they were so mad that it had armor lock and sprint, okay? It's like, you guys are upset about all these issues for no reason. No disrespect to the Halo community. I love you guys, but you guys are toxic, okay? And then to top it off, the second group, okay? You have the people, which honestly I think I fall into, who love either all the Halos or think that the older Halos are trash, okay? I'm someone, like I said, I love all the Halos. I think all the Halos are great. Every single one has its own twist, its own personality. Will I admit that Halo 5 had a good campaign? Absolutely not, because I am not a bootlicker. Anyways, the multiplayer though, I will give it that props. And some people liked Halo 4. It's like the Halo community is like the Star Wars community and the Star Wars fan base, okay? They'll hate this game and then realize that it's not that bad. It's just a competing endless cycle. For instance, with this new CE remake, a lot of the newer players are loving it. PlayStation players that I know, they're gonna love it. People that I've talked to started on CE originally are the only ones that are upset. Well, not only ones, but like half of them. Of course, we don't know with 343 Studios shutting down and it's becoming Halo Studios now. We don't know what is going to happen. We don't know if it's going to be good or bad, of course. Speculation, is it the same or is it not? But the thing is, I've seen people already hating on it, okay? They're saying, you know, like they're missing the photograph because they're sprinting. They're missing the whole scenery. It's like, okay, then you guys complained about when Cortana was entering your mind and stopping you every 5 seconds in Halo 3, so that way you can understand the scenery of everything that's going on around you just as well, except you're having PTSD. I'm starting to see a pattern of everybody who's started on video games earlier are just haters of anything new nowadays. They'll either overhype it, expecting the best, or as soon as like their own expectations are hitting the end, their whole mental statistics are just thrown out the window and they're upset. You know what? I can't even think of one single game to point out from here other than the whole Ubisoft community, okay? Their gaming community, nothing but toxic people. I was trying to think of one singular game from Ubisoft that anybody would be like, oh yeah, that's the most toxic one. And then I thought Rainbow Six Siege, For Honor, and Assassin's Creed. If you've ever been in a Rainbow Six Siege lobby, everyone's competitive, man. Even when it's not in ranked. Like if you mess up just a tad hair, everyone loses their mind, okay? instantly blame everything on you, even when there's a problem. Some of them don't even play objective. They just run out there and get, taken out of the equation like it's nothing, dude. And then they'll also TK you. Like, nobody in Rainbow Six Siege, I think, has the nice mindset of we're here to have fun. The other games, which is one of my favorites, but like For Honor. Okay, dude, do you know how many times I've had the conch, like throw up emote signs after hitting me one time, acting like he's the king? You know what I mean? When it comes to For Honor, you're either enraged or you're having a great time, which is very rare for this one. The ratio to it is not the same, okay? Because it makes you want to commit crimes and make people look like a statistic. Another thing that comes up is Assassin's Creed. That community only hates anything that's new, and then hates anything that they try to be innovative, and then gets mad when things stay the same. And what I mean by that is, you had Assassin's Creed Ezio Trilogy, then you had Assassin's Creed 3, and everyone's like, oh yeah, this is great. You get to Unity, the game came out, everybody hated it. You cannot tell me one single soul that just was like, this is great, this is amazing, without experiencing any bugs, okay? I enjoyed the game, but I even complained about it, okay? Not until all these other updates and all these things came out. It's almost like Ubisoft knows this, because they put everybody into that situation. They're not like, oh, this is just for fun or this and that. Like, they literally make it so that way people can be toxic in For Honor, Rainbow, and the community itself in Assassin's Creed. And I'm not saying all these other games that we talked about today, that everyone is simply toxic, but the toxic ones stand out pretty well, and you can tell who. All I got for you guys today. Do you guys agree with my list, or do you guys think that there are more toxic gaming communities out there? Alright, let me know in the comments below. I would like to have a discussion, okay? Don't forget to like and subscribe. Remember to stay in the shadows. This is the Undead Ninja, and he's out. One is the loneliest number that you'll ever